Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game features a very active secondary. The Bills are top 10 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against the Dolphins, who will be testing that coverage. So let's send you up to Orchard Park, New York. Standing by, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
They'll drop the throw. Finding time. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big gain there for the Bills. 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
They'll set up a throw, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Incomplete.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. And a long way to go for the offense here on 2nd down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Here we go. Blue line. Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. The play clock's running down. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from. Where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
Marcel Darius, year in and year out, plays at a Pro Bowl level.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. And as he sees the play clock ticking down, Marvin Lewis decides to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. So on 4th down, Marvin Lewis sends on the field goal unit. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And this is a guy who's been here enough. He can't use, hey, I'm a rookie as an excuse. He's been around.
He sat in the meetings. He's played the games. The coaching staff is showing much more confidence in him because the game plan has been expanded since the last time we saw him play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A good pickup there at 22. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Green, 39.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Bills will move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. That was a case of practice making perfect. Goal line offense had been their focus while prepping for this one.
Almost as if you go back to training camp, isn't it? You strip it bare, you figure out what you need to make something work on it all week long, and get it done. That's got to feel great for them.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. And that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
5 yards left for the offense. It's second down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll drop to throw. And a quick. Throw here, that's complete.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
All right, here we go.
Time running out here on the play clock. And they'll run it here. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. So it is 3rd down now, but less than a yard to go.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They come up in an offset eye. Play clock winding down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. 19 yards to pick up there. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense. Still third down.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And the Bills getting set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push them back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
They'll look to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he will find his man on the end route, complete.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. This is fielded at the 27. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was going for the age. I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Throwing right, and that's complete. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Time to step aside. Back to Buffalo after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw here. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go now.
Back to throw again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. A great read, and it's picked off. The 20, 10, and nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Their big tight end. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. come the Dolphins now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Bills secondary has had trouble slowing down the passing game. The Dolphins, though, should be credited because they showed last week they can pass the ball very well. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Offense out now following the INT. The pass out of the gun will be completed, and he'll end up picking up 33 yards on the play. Bills end up throwing a pick to end the drive. Now early in the second, it's going to be a run play here, and he'd cap off the 11-play drive with a TD. They're now on top by 4. Dolphins take it at the 1. Here the throw is hurried and picked off. Bills defense gets off the field with the turnover. After the INT, offense comes out now. Here the pass is completed into coverage, and this will go all the way for a touchdown. Bills push their lead to 11. So that'll do it for us. We'll go back now to Orchard Park for the second.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Let's put our attention here now on the Dolphins' defense. They're losing here as we begin the third quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, they want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the third. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And while that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently. But that doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And he gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Third down now following the run.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down. And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, what a move. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Here we go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
3-19.
They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
4 down. All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They'll get 17 yards there. And it's first down, Miami.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity miss there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make a huge play. Instead, he's able to recover his own fumble. And big sigh of relief, huh?
Yeah, usually those wide receiver fumbles are... It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
They'll look to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he is not going to be able to break free as they wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage. And the try for 2 is going to come up empty. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. 18 yards there and a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up. Oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
They'll set up to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan, and Thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's good for a Miami first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
In the red zone this time. Back to throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And he's got it up and through. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
This is taken at the 23. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And he comes back with one complete.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
Back to throw here. And this is incomplete.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Telvin Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The play clock's running down. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So an incredibly costly 2 points are on a couple of levels.
No question about it, Brandon. 1, you lose the football and you've got to kick it away. And 2, you make it a 2-score game.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Pulled in at the 24. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And back onto the field, here comes the Dolphins defense. They got the safety last time. Those are ones that don't happen every week. So, Charles, I would imagine that can be a big rallying point for a unit.
Oh, no doubt about it, because right now they've kind of come together, and you can see it. They're an attacking, marauding band of brothers that are making big plays out there.
Marauding?
You like that one?
Is that a word? Seriously?
SAT prep.
Wow. That's it. Well, I won't give my score. All right, here they go. They're going to try to maraud again.
Quarterbacks like throwing the slant route, but they have to be careful about ball placement. They have to put it in a spot and make sure the receiver has his body in front of the defender.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
No, check, Patriot!
On play action, they'll throw. And this one is incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference, partner with all the rule changes. It is hard to be a defender in the pass game.
Brandon, is tough in college. It's a lot harder in the NFL. You can't touch him after 5 yards downfield. You can't touch him while the ball's not in the air. You can't touch him at all until the ball is at the receiver's hands. Very difficult to be a defender in today's NFL. If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
8 yards there and a first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Simple slant route, and part of a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
We got 3, fellas. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. He'll buy some time right. And his throw is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He's got time. Now he's forced out left. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He hit his first one. This from 4th. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Getting down to the end of this one here, Charles. That touchdown, though, gives them a glimmer of hope.
Without a doubt, because all had appeared lost, but that touchdown puts them right back in it with plenty of hope and a little more optimism.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So they got their touchdown. Now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Now the Bills will take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense. Still 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It's a high kick and hit pretty well. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you got to just...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play here for Buffalo. 43 yards. They'll come up with split backs in the backfield. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Here we go. No. Check. Patriots.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. 23 yards on the play. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So we saw a lot of points. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we'd get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
Not at all.
And have 0 points on either side? Not a chance, right? And somehow it happened. We always talk about making adjustments. Maybe both defenses took 4 full quarters in order to get an adjustment. Got 1 good period in for both defenses, and now they go home. You buying tonight?
I thought it was you. I did last week. I did the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to go for 3.
Dinner on you, my good
Tried
man.
to go for 3.
Nothing between these two teams for 4 quarters. Here we go to begin overtime. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Bills. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Back-to-back runs that were stacked up. Offensively, now you've got to think to yourself, do we change blocking assignments? Do we change formations? Do we change looks in order to try and get the running game going?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Holding offense.
The Bills send the punter out. On for a very important punt here in overtime. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded at the 33. He won't go down. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got room. He got 29 yards that time.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. He let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you get all that open space with big guys leading the way.
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
They'll need to get the play off quickly, and they'll go on the ground. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. And as he sees the play clock ticking down, Marvin Lewis decides to call a timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here in OT.
Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now the Bills will take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Dolphins, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.